everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so this video is been in the works, I don't know, for a week. I was supposed to have this video up on Monday and it just didn't work because this project has taken over my entire space. This is a very requested video, so I hope you find this very useful. And it's actually not going to be just one video, but I'm thinking this is going to be 4 videos. Yes, 4 videos. So I am very excited to do a 4-part series all about ideas to document yourself in me albums. I feel like that is my specialty. I absolutely love them. And I am currently looking at maybe 20 albums just in my area because I've been pulling ideas to share with you for each of the sections. And I am just beyond excited to be able to share this video with you, share some ideas, and encourage you to document your personal story. Down in the description box will be the printable list of all the ideas. There is 60 ideas. Not sure if I already mentioned that, but there is 60 ideas and they cover a wide range of things. So we are going to tackle the first section of ideas, which will cover seasons, reading, TV, and music. And then we'll just go from there. Like I said, I share a lot of different examples in different formats and just have a really good time sharing all of these ideas, all these different pages, and just going through my albums. So I hope that you enjoy it, and let's go get started. Intro video, you saw that these were like a leaning tower. Well, I was actually determined to finally label a lot of these, and so I actually wound up doing it, spending some time doing that. So now they have a label and I can go back and put it on the actual spine. I have that printable in the description box below. You just click it and you go to Dropbox and you can download it. And I wound up with 60 ideas actually, because a lot of them at the bottom are like holiday ideas. I don't know if I'm going to go through all 60, but I want to share a ton. So let's get started. This album is way back in 2017 when I first started hybrid scrapbooking. I was actually participating in the One Little Word project. I didn't really finish it, but I put it in the front of the album. And let's see, the idea is to document yourself during the seasons. So February to me in my part of the world is still winter. So you can see here, I took a selfie and I just documented what was going on during that month and starting off February. Over here, I was feeling kind of sassy with my new sweater and this book that I was enjoying, and so I documented these photos during winter. But as you can see, this could also relate to reading and just currently what's going on, but it more or less focuses on winter and my new favorite hoodie. Another example is moving into spring with my daughter and enjoying springtime and just warmer weather, and then of course, going out on a bike ride with my husband, which pertains to another story idea of documenting what you enjoy doing with your family members. But let's keep finding some seasonal ideas. So 2017 again, and you open it right away, there is a photo of my decor boxes. You've been around here a while, you know that I love to take my decor boxes, pop off the lid, and then take a photo. And a lot of the times this will start off my October daily album and my December daily album. But I have done it in other projects, like you can see here, because I never pack the boxes the same. So every year they wind up being different. So this is September, fall, and then some more fall here. Fall to me is a lot easier to document. You can see here I have another fall theme. This one also falls underneath the everyday category, just grabbing some screenshots of hobbies outside, who I'm taking care of, my kiddo, and then just a little 3x8 of myself. I also included the idea of embracing the season of life where you're at, and in this layout I did that concept plus use the theme of fall, since I was doing a bike ride in fall, and I used, I think, the seasons digital kit from Ali Edwards. And this is definitely a favorite layout, putting the digital brushes there and then all these little die cuts. Another autumn one, 3x8, and then just a page protector with photos from leaves. And again, that's another idea too, is to document the season but include like photos of finding leaves, because that's something that's my favorite. So whatever's your favorite from the particular season, document that. It doesn't always have to be just a photo of yourself, because like I love taking from where I stand. That's another idea too that I put in the list, is taking photos from where you stand, and you could collect those to do a collective layout where you do like spring, summer, winter, and fall. And I have done that in the past, and I will get to that layout. Or you could just do a bunch of from where you stand in the fall. So maybe 5 photos, 1 per week. That could be doable, and it wouldn't necessarily have to be your face, right? But I highly encourage you to embrace your selfie. In 2020, hey, you know what? It would be really fun to try an 8.5 by 11. I guess maybe because the year was already upside down, I decided to try something that was a little out of the ordinary. And I don't know if I would go back to this format because it is so huge. Okay, I even adjusted my camera so you could see the whole album. I believe this album covers January through August. But back to the seasons ideas. This was spring, and I even remembered to date it. And I love capturing, you know, the nature, maybe a selfie of myself, of the flowers. Here is 2019. I think this was a recent album I shared. I don't know. But this is summer right here. Simple photo of me in my hat, because I love wearing hats in the summertime. And I just did some pocket pages and filled them in with some die cuts. This was another fun one that I did just one day playing. I had a selfie, totally captured summer, and I wanted to try out some paint and a new stamp set. So now I have a bright, colorful summer page. A beach page in summer, super easy to do, and really I only have one selfie of myself, but then I included photos of my people. This is a layout I featured in a big picture classes class. Love this. So you have a flip up and you have lots of die cuts, and I was teaching you in that class how to use digital supplies to make your own journaling cards. But this documents not only fall, but the everyday, and that's another story idea. A fun one for fall, but like I said, fall for me is really easy to document. Winter, I think winter and summer are a little trickier for me, but this is all about fall, collecting leaves as I went on a bike ride. So I found a winter page, and as you can see, I documented it from more of the perspective of like how I can change my attitude about winter, and that instead of thinking of it as kind of a bah humbug season, I can embrace it. And I used, I know this is a story kit from Ali Edwards, and I believe it is Breathe, and I did a diagonal design right here using my selfie. But that is definitely a fun winter one to document. I'm really starting to enjoy winter more instead of summer because of all the heat. Here's a spring one when I went on a spring hike with my husband, or several spring hikes, and I wanted to just document it really quickly. And so I did 3x4s there, and then some smaller photos down there, and a bunch of stamping. Here's another spring one where I document kind of a puddle. It's totally maybe a weird photo, I don't know. I really liked it, so I went for it. We had a lid flip upside down, and there was a big puddle in there. So I took a photo, and then I had this silly one, and I just did some repeat stamping. Another spring one, but again, it's not only spring, it's not only selfies, but it is also nature. So it combines several different topics. And it's a design, this is a design that I come back to again and again, full page photo and then a row of photos. So I can do 3 rows of photos or just 2, and I really love this design. Alrighty, so I found another winter one in, let's see, 2021, And this is again in another big picture classes. I was talking about digital stamps and various ways that you can use them. And I use them to make my own custom star embellishments. And I also printed out a large title, and pretty much everything on here is digital. But I documented being so cold and in all my winter gear, snow pants, hat, snow gloves, and no, I don't live in a place where I need any of that, but it helps me to not feel so cold. That is winter. And then let me show you the one where I put together a bunch of from where I stand photos. So this is the collective page that I mentioned a few minutes ago, but this is, I did from where I stand. And when I think of a year, I usually think of winter, spring, summer, and fall. And then I know we end with winter as well, but I just went with winter, spring, summer, fall. And this was based off of an Ali Edwards idea that I got in one of her classes. But again, I did all the seasons and little clusters to represent all of the seasons. Before I recap seasons, goodness gracious, I have a lot of seasons ideas. I know that I do. And I knew that I had more winter ideas. And as I was putting together this video, I found this other winter one. So before we wrap up this section, I wanted to share this one because it also pertains to not only being cozy, seasons, but also reading and my hobby. You can see I was wrapped up in a blanket and a headscarf, and cozy as can be, reading during December. And here on my iPad, I have the list of different ideas. So seasons covers a total of 10 ideas. So you have season winter, spring, summer, fall, and then things you love or dislike about a season. Season in fall, you collecting leaves. In summertime, pool time, or just how you enjoy summer. Spring, there is lots of flower ideas. And then season, the collective page that I shared, and also embracing the season of life. Okay, so now we are going to talk about reading. The next section is reading, and for me, this is one of my biggest hobbies, right along with scrapbooking. So for you, if it's painting or crocheting, whatever it is, it's your hobby and you should document it all the time. So this is a page from, I believe, 2017, and I took a photo in bed and then did a review of the book A Monster Calls. And I love it. It's just a simple page to document books that I love reading and bedtime cozy reading. An 8.5 by 11 page that I did for Coco Daisy, again in bed reading, and because it was February, I played off the Valentine's type of colors, and it just turned out so good. This is definitely a project that I repeat over and over again, which is the bedtime reading. I love it. And I have no problem repeating different types of stories throughout the year or throughout the years in my albums. Here's another bedtime reading one, and this one I believe is 2019. This was for Ellie's studio, and I did some cozy bedtime reading. My first time stamping on vellum, I was so nervous, but this is years later and it doesn't look too bad. And then you flip it and I have another page. I feel like I should take a picture like this again because I haven't taken that perspective in a while. But yeah, cozy bedtime reading. Here's a more recent one from this past June, so last year. And I was reading and my cat decided to come join me. So I used a mix of Syncopation Designs products to bring this whole page together. In this same album, I have this one that I just documented my library haul. I believe this is toward the end of July, so kind of what I have as far as my books. This one is from 2020, and I used a Tracy Reed kit to document reading with my daughter. I have done this type of project before, but I think I tend to document reading with my daughter a lot in December daily, and I include photos in Project Life. But this is a simple project just so I can document us reading together. Another Syncopation Designs project about reading. This time I was reading outside during the summer, and I wanted to play off of that fun theme, and so I made my own little flowers out of the papers and used just 2 pictures to talk about reading. Here's a fun one that I did, and this is a 2022 album, I believe. Yeah, 2022. And In a Creative Bubble had just released some new die cuts, and so I wanted to play with those. And I was actually making more of an effort to document where I was reading, like outside with the kids, at a kid activity, while I was eating breakfast. I should try to do that again, but it's an easy way to get photos of what you're doing and also telling your story. So I took a bunch of those die cuts and made a really fun page about reading, and I love how it came together. These 2 pages right here are the best, and I need to repeat them. I don't know if I've done this for winter or spring, but I feel like if I don't have any photos for this year, this is definitely something I'm going to write down to do next year. A stack of books for every season of the year. So I started off with the summer one. Where'd it go? Summer one. I did this for Everyday Explorers. As you can see, my yellow ink was terrible, and it's like stained every single project. But I loved taking Christine's stamps and putting them on cardstock or making shapes. And I took my stock of books, my little cabinet, and I snapped a photo and then did a bunch of stamp work to document summer reads. And I just love it. And I loved it so much that I wound up doing it again shortly after in October for spooky reads. And this time I brought in some pinks and added in, of course, the orange and the black. And again, all Everyday Explorer products. I almost forgot before we wrap up this reading section, I wanted to share this one from the very beginning when I first started documenting myself in 2017. This was a way for me to recap the different books that I was reading, and then I did some digital stamping. I believe this is digital stamping, and then another page here. And then later on in February, I did a similar thing to wrap up my reading. So as you can see, I've always been documenting my books and what I've read. Oh, and I forgot to show you this one. This is going to be at the end of my 2023 album. That's why it's back here, but I do need to change the year number. I took all the books that I read and I put them in rainbow order, and I was able to make this really awesome page, and I love seeing these all together like this. I also did something for February. I think I put February of 2024, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in that section. But anyways, I made this page all about some romance books for Syncopation Designs. It's kind of a favorite genre, so I was able to document it that way. And since a lot of the covers didn't go with the colors of the kit, I just made the covers black and white. Okay, so that is all the ideas for reading, and those are going to be 11 through 16, which is surprising. I feel like I could have a lot more reading ideas, but I said reading you and a book, a rainbow stack of your books or printed covers, reading night owl bedtime, reading cozy, or maybe you don't like to be cozy, but you could just document how you prefer to read, and then reading the seasonal aspect. Okay, so next up, we are going to tackle TV and movies, which is not something I usually document, but I do it occasionally, so I wanted to have some ideas in there for you. Okay, moving into TV shows and movies. I loved the Shadowhunters book series, and then when it came out, well, we watched it several years after it came out, but we watched it in the summer of 2020, and I absolutely loved it. Found this picture of it and had to document it with some citrus twist pieces, I believe, but I love how it came out. And then I decided to document some more summer shows, and I thought I had this in a page protector, but I guess I didn't. And I don't know why. Oh no, I did put the name of the show. Not my favorite layout, but I wanted to document the 2 shows we were watching during the summertime. To start off 2021, I thought I would do one of these Heidi Swap journals, and I only did it through April, and I think after that I switched to Pocket Pages, I think. But anyways, I loved the book series of To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You. I don't know if that's the first one or not, but I loved the books and I loved the movies, so I documented it there. And I used a Tracy Reed kit to make it all lovey-dovey. This is probably my favorite type of page to make, and I do need to do it again. I just always forget about documenting the movies. I make sure I do it in our project life, like as a collective type page, like what we're all watching together as a family, but having it in my album is also a nice thing too. I also don't watch a lot of TV now, like by myself, so that's probably why I don't document it as much. But I took a bunch of covers from the various shows, used some Scrap and Happy Studio flares, and a ton of stamps from Everyday Explorers to document all the different shows. As I was going through different examples for TV shows and movies, I realized that I didn't even include music in the list of ideas. Music doesn't really come to mind to document for me that much anymore because I listen to audiobooks so much, but I used to make a playlist for every single month, and I documented a few of those in this particular album. I would take a screenshot from Spotify and then just include it along with lots of digital stamp type cards. So this one pertains to March, and then this one is January, and I played off of the blues in the music covers. And then I also said that there was 53 songs in the January playlist. So that was a quick little piece for TVs and movies. It only covers 3 ideas, and that's the printed photos of various programs, to do a review page, you watching TV with a selfie, someone could take your photo, you could use a timer, or even your feet propped up and you're holding up a dessert, which is something I do all the time now. I will take like the cookie that I have and I will hold it up in front of what we're watching, and then it'll capture the dessert and the show at the same time. So I love doing that. And I include, like I said, I include those type of photos in Project Life, but I haven't done it in my Me album, so I should. And then also make sure to maybe document your favorite person that you watch TV with and scrapbook that. And of course, music, like I said. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is self-care, which is a huge section and can cover a wide range of topics. Okay, so that was the end of part 1, and it was chock full of ideas. I hope it has inspired you. I'd love to know in the comments section if it does, if you're excited to tell more of your stories. All right, I will see you in 2 weeks for the next part of this series. Have a great day. Bye.